Hi.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show in which we find out how the gender situation affects bowel movements. I wish I was kidding. And I come to you live from Crater Valley on the moon with Dog Cat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to Thursday. Tummy Trouble Thursday. Yes, we return once again to the wild and wacky world of TEDx. I'm not sure about this one. This might be one of the least investigated TEDx's I've ever looked at before, in the sense of I only know the title. I didn't even glance at the disclaimer, if there is one. I didn't even look at the description. I didn't look at the comments. I didn't look at the like-dislike ratio. I just saw the title in the thumbnail, and I was like, I guess I have to know. I'll probably regret it, but this is where we've arrived. So, but I'll get to that in a moment. First, who's joining me on this beautiful Thursday evening? Keeverdam, good evening, and thank you, Keeverdam, for providing the link to the SamaritansPurse.org. This is an organization that will help funnel money to the victims of Hurricane Helene and now Hurricane Milton, and so on and so forth. So please, if you have the opportunity, take a look at that. If you can donate, please do so. But even if you can't share that out on social media, it'd be very much appreciated. So thank you, Keeverdam, for posting the link, and thanks to everyone who donates or shares. JB, good evening. Noah, Alex, Asensio, good evening. Advocatus Diaboli, good evening. Kiro Soldier, good evening. Who else is here? Shell D, good evening. Tyr Alexander, good evening. Mike R, good evening. Let's see, who else is here? Scrolling. Angelverse, good evening to you. Robert Pincus, good evening. The Best Remy, good evening. Liesel7, good evening. Dexter's Killer Lab, good evening to you. Who else here? Simon Willikins, good evening. Dax Orion, good evening. Faithless, good evening. Phil Thomas, good evening to you. And to anybody that I missed, anybody lurking, anybody in the future, good evening. Oh, Dara Odell, good evening to you. Yes, I'd understand it if some of you are outside when it's nighttime out with the Aurora Borealis creeping over us because of an electromagnetic storm or something that's hitting us right now. Or maybe you're over on Midnight's Edge talking about entertainment stuff or something. I don't know. But either way. So tonight, why women, and ahead of time, guys, it is unavoidable. I usually try to keep this show relatively family-friendly. But apparently language is just going to be part of the equation tonight, and it's all the fault of the speaker. Why women don't... Okay, for YouTube's sake, I'll tone it down for a moment. I don't know how much time I have in the early parts of the show before bad words get me in trouble. Why women don't poop at work. I know that won't last, and I won't censor myself much longer, but either way. So when I saw this title, I had two thoughts come to mind. First off, is this literal? That was my first question. My second question was, or is this figurative? If it's literal, I thought, is this going to be some kind of like sort of subtle sexism in the workplace, plumbing expectations of femininity thing? Or in the abstract, does this mean to say that women don't let's say air their dirty laundry at work? Right? Like the old adage, do not poop where you eat, so to speak. That kind of thing. Because if that's some kind of rule, I've never seen that at play at all in real life. Yeah, I don't know. I'm completely blank here. So this could be absolute insanity. This could be a very good presentation. I don't know. But it's got a bad word in it, and it's too bizarre not to look into. So tonight's bingo card is bingo card C. C is in colostomy bag. Why not? But if you'd like to join in on the poll each week, which decides the bingo card for the upcoming show, follow me on Twitter or X @scribe_light. And beyond that, a couple more hellos, and then we'll get right into it. Ryan R., good evening. Cynic, good evening to you. And I think that's everybody. I don't know if I hope I didn't miss anybody, or if anybody else is here lurking. I hope you enjoy the show. All right, so here we go. This is 16 minutes long, so it's just your above average length for a TEDx. I'm taking a deep breath here because I don't know what I'm in for. Neither do you. Let's find out together. And a 1 and a 2.
I would like to quickly prepare you that this is not your usual TEDx talk.
I kind of got that from the title. I'm going to turn the music down just a smidge more than I had it. Don't want it to overwhelm our speaker or get in the way of anything. Okay, Irina Soriano. This took place in March of this year. This is not your usual TEDx.
Because this talk is full of shit.
Oh, thanks a lot. All right. YouTube, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm here to educate. She's the one saying the naughty words. And anybody at home with kids nearby, by all means, keep them at distance or put some headphones in.
I will say the word shit roughly 70 times.
Well, I appreciate the warning.
In about 13 minutes.
16 minutes.
So, buckle up. In over 15 years of my corporate life, one thing I am certain of is that no one ever heard me shit at work.
Okay. Where, and again, as with always, I do have to pause occasionally just for the sake of YouTube, so. All right.
I made sure of it. Growing up in Germany, I was a Heimscheißer.
Oh, she's German. Oh, hallo, Fräulein.
A home shitter. During my school years, I had a mantra, and that was, you hold that shit in until you get home.
What have I gotten us into this time?
And from a young age, I was scared shitless that the girls in school would ridicule me in the bathroom.
This is some weird psychological... Okay, yeah.
And that's a concern many teenagers also seem to shit themselves over these days, because if a classmate takes out their phone, they snap a picture through the stall gap, that shit could lead to a lot of unwanted likes on social media.
Okay. I know it's a little early, but I can't help myself.
What? What is that? What the fuck is that?
Taking pictures in school bathrooms underneath okay. Okay.
I'm sure we all have our bathroom tales. Mine includes a 15-minute silent shit standoff at the office.
I got nothing. I'm starting to very much regret this.
Where I was waiting out another woman who was in the stall literally right next to me.
I'm going to do this. I know it's a little different from usual procedure, but at this point, I think I need to get out the psychiatrist couch. I don't see any other recourse for me on this one. I just don't.
Both of us hoping for the other one to just wave the white flag and leave the bathroom so whoever won the battle could do her business. And I got so exhausted hovering over the bowl that I was tempted to yell, "Let's just shit at the same time and get this over with."
Okay. Do you think there'll be a point to this talk? I mean, I can only hope that this is leading up to something that even virtually equates to a point. I guess we'll find out hopefully soon. Thank you, JB. At my school one time, some guy got jumped while he was pooping. Life is wild. Is that what the show's going to be? People's excrement adventures? Jeez. Thank you, JB. I do appreciate the donation. And sympathies, I guess, for your classmate. Eek.
Now, it's a peculiar world we navigate, balancing female empowerment and openness.
I did. Okay, circling feminism on the board. I had a feeling deep in the bowels of my... Anyway, so let's go to the bingo card real quick to remind ourselves what we are listening for in this shitstorm. Remember, this is bingo card C. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Word salad. Oh God. There's a salad phrase I could use here that might just come along anyway. Anyway, not yet. Not quite yet. We'll get there, I'm sure. Mind reading assumes motives. Not yet, per se. A list, we'll see. Marginalized, marginalization, no. Patriarchy, not yet. Contradicts own point or argument, don't know what it is yet. Attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, no, not yet. Systemic or institutional. Anecdote that probably never happened. The only one she's given us so far are bathroom-related. I don't know. White supremacy, no. Childhood or family anecdote, yeah, she talked about being in class and school and the girls and all that, yeah, so circling that one. Leaves out vital context. Really, I don't know. Weightless example or non sequitur. We'll see. Sales pitch for product or service, not yet, unless it's going to be a laxative. Privilege, not yet. Collectivizes own demographic, maybe. I don't know. My brain is so fried right now. Self-vilification or wretchedness. I mean... Just inadvertently, she might do that. Economic disparity, no. Benevolent condescension, not quite yet. Plays victim, maybe to herself. We'll see. Deceptive statistics, not yet. And lastly, microaggressions or unconscious bias. So far, on the board, remember this is bingo card C, I have circled feminism, free space, and childhood or family anecdotes. So let's keep going.
In so many areas of women's lives, yet still feel bound by antiquated notions.
Antiquated notions of what? Having to use the facilities?
Regarding something as natural as taking a shit.
I regret my entire life right now.
So this situation...
Oh, attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase. I'm going to be a little loose, a little lax tonight because this is obviously not very serious, and I don't even know what I've gotten myself into.
Has puzzled me my entire life. Women are going to great lengths to hide their business at work.
Are they? I mean, I wouldn't know, but okay.
We all shit on average once per day. So that's a pretty big effort. It seems to be a blend of embarrassment and the fear of judgment from other women.
If you say so. Also, she stepped off of the red circle carpet. I think that means like a sumo match she just forfeited.
So let's unpack the embarrassment first.
Okay, let's... Yeah, I think it's more interesting that she thinks this is a problem so important that it's worthy of a TEDx talk. I think that says more of her than it does anything else.
I got super curious about this. So,
did you take a poll in the ladies' room?
Oh, I did a survey.
Oh.
And I asked 160 professional women within my network.
I wonder, for all the worries that you have of what someone might think of you if they hear you in the bathroom, I wonder what they think of you when you came to them with this question. Thank you, Frosted Glass. The puns hurt even more than the quaprophilia. Yeah. Oh. And Tira Alexander makes a good point. Collectivizes own demographic. Professional women, so on and so forth. So, yeah, good point. All right, to collectivizes own demographic. Circling that one on the board. Okay, you did a survey of 100 and some odd women, and
70% of these women admitted to be embarrassed about the smell of their shit.
What have I done? I could have picked the TEDx where someone else was complaining about their name not being pronounced correctly. I could have taken a softball today, but no, I did this.
These women admitted to be embarrassed about the smell of their shit at work.
Oh my God.
Moreover, many of them dreaded the thought of their public shit becoming the topic of corridor gossip.
I'm gonna have to brand this one like 18 and over, aren't I? This is just getting weird.
And quite frankly, I was not surprised to hear that, because office bathroom stall gaps, they are so big that I borderline feel rude not to say hello there while I'm in the stall with my pants down.
I don't know what I've done. German talking about poop. The stereotypes are true.
So this embarrassment drives women to great lengths to avoid detection.
And now you'll list a few.
I'm going to show you some of the survey
Oh no!
results here.
What am I?
42% of the women said there is no chance that they shit in the bathroom closest to their office. So they try to find another floor where there's less traffic and less people they know, or they take their shit off the premises altogether.
Okay. I'm gonna see it through. I had low-hanging fruit right in front of me yesterday. I have one. What was it? What was it titled? Hold on. Let me remind myself. How correctly saying a name boosts influence and trust. I had that one. Or why can't we fix the poverty to prison pipeline? I had that one. Capitalism broke the climate. Now it can fix it. I even grabbed one I thought actually might be beneficial. 6 principles to capture your audience's attention. There was that one. But no, I did this.
And they go to gyms and to cafes nearby the office. 25% engage in the shit standoff. You now understand what that means, right?
Yes, I understand what that means.
Right.
Okay.
I also like to call this the thigh master of the 21st century, because I can crack a nut with these things from all the squatting that I have done in my life.
Someone help me.
12% embrace the strategy of excessive flushing and making loads of noise while they're in the stall. Another 12%, they said, you know what, I clench up and I hold my shit in all day until I get home.
You know, in so many ways, and not even looking at the bingo card right now, this may be the worst TEDx I've ever watched. Because unless she pulls a point out of her ass in the near minutes, I'm not even sure what I'm getting out of this. Even on a sort of, sardonic humor, intellectual way.
And then some women mastered the art of soundproofing their shits with large amounts of toilet paper.
Oh, God.
Now, I will admit this is not a method that I personally use.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that. I'd hate to think you were wasting paper.
But I have tested this out for all of you with single-ply office toilet paper. You need about 50 sheets to muffle the plop effectively.
Okay.
And God forbid a fart sneaks out. You can always start coughing really, really loud, so nobody knows what's happening in the stall.
This is really this is a real thing. This is something that Drew University thought was. I can only hope, for the sake of Drew University, that they just had a very, very small number of applications for this TEDx event, and that they just couldn't find a way to not include this one.
And then, believe it or not,
I'm walking on air.
1%, they bring a large bag to work every day carrying their shit shoes to
Do I even want to know what a shit shoe is?
every day carrying their shit shoes to disguise their feet from stall-gap gazers.
Yeah, no, I was correct in bringing up the psychiatrist's couch for this one.
Shit shoes.
Yeah, no, I heard you the first time.
So, women's embarrassment in the bathroom. That's not the only challenge we face. There is also the fear of judgment from fellow women.
All right. I know I'm going to regret asking this, and I can only hope there actually is an answer, but what do you suggest be done to address this problem?
So in the survey I conducted, the vast majority of women, they shared their constant concern over how female colleagues judge their personality and their appearance at work.
And commingled within that is how or to what energy someone uses the bathroom. Okay. Who's that I saw in the chat here? I saw somebody that I'm going to... Okay, Jim Heelis brought up the poo knife. We're not going to go through that. Jeanette E. Hellis with a very fetching new avatar. What the hell is this? Okay, I'll put up the original overlay just so I don't confuse anybody coming in late. That is the title. That is the title of this TEDx. So, I think the title has already been answered insofar as the question asked. Women are afraid of judgment and embarrassment in the workplace, in a professional environment. Okay. And again, I will ask, well, I'm scared to know the answer. What does our speaker suggest be done?
And they also acknowledge that there's a strong undercurrent of competition amongst professional women in general.
Oh, really? Because I was always told the competition in the workplace was kind of a toxic masculinity element, but if you say so. Also, and I'm surprised this hadn't happened earlier, Keeverdam, thank you so much, sends a poop emoji. You know, I honestly thought that I'd see more of that earlier on, but thank you, Keeverdam, for starting a trend. I'm sure it will continue. But yeah, okay. Women can be competitive one to another, you say.
And that fear, that can drive women to hold on to their shit in the bathroom.
I suppose it can.
But also in the boardroom.
Okay.
And now women are holding on to all of their shit not just the physical kind. And instead of being vulnerable so we can actually liberate our shit,
What?
we pass on judgment amongst each other, and then we engage in competition, and all of that is driven by our collective self-doubt and insecurity.
I'm going back to the psychiatrist chair. I don't know what's going on anymore. Also, a welcome break for a moment. It's Miranda Stone. You know Miranda Stone. Miranda Stone is queen of the discourse. Good evening, Miranda Stone. Let's see. Also, I think I missed it. Oh, there it is. Nope. Non sequitur, faithless. Not sure yet. I need to hear the fullness. That's what I was looking for. Mind reading. Yeah, that advocate is that she seems to know what all women think in the workplace and about their bathroom habits from... I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to take a straw poll in the chat, because obviously I don't have any direct knowledge of the paranoia either possessed or experienced by women when it comes to going to the bathroom. So maybe it's not mind reading. Maybe this is built into the professional environment amongst women. I don't know. But although I have to... I am inclined to agree with Jeanette E. Ellis, but my bodily functions have nothing to do with my emotional pitfalls in the workplace. Yeah, it seems. I think she might be BSing a bit. I'm still hesitant to use the bad words. This is a family show. Gosh dang it! Oakley dokley. All right. Well, any arguments for squares? Hold on to them like you would your movements. We'll get to them shortly.
So the question becomes, where is this fear of judgment coming from?
You mean in general or specifically with bathroom activity? Because in general, well, we are animals that seek some kind of belonging, some kind of acceptance, some kind of respect. We have egos, some of us more so than others. That part isn't that hard to understand. I guess it just depends on the kind of person who would extend those fears and paranoias to their natural bodily processes.
And many women might agree with me.
Many women might. Okay.
That it comes from societal expectations.
Of course. All right. Well, I'm circling plays victim. Circling that one. Right. Society is making me paranoid about going to the bathroom in the workplace. It's not me. It's not me and my own issues. It's society outside the stall.
Society has long told women to keep their shit to themselves.
You'll find that men generally also follow that rule. In fact, it's usually much more difficult to coax a man to... Wait, are we talking literal or figurative again? Because you started talking about psychology.
And they handed us a rule book that says, hide your shit.
You got a... Wait. When did you get a... I didn't get a rule book. Nobody handed me a rule book. Okay, let's talk about privilege here for a second. 'Cause if you guys got handed a rule book, well, that's a privilege.
And that's why women can go all day to hold on to their physical shit.
I'm learning something new every day. Women, did you know you possess this superpower?
And if that's not crazy enough...
I tell you what, it's getting close to rubber room time for me.
On top of that,
yeah,
we're also holding on to our mental shit.
Oh, now we get into the abstract. Yeah, because women... I'm sorry, women. I don't know what to tell you. If there's been one... In my professional experience, if there has been one consistent source of inter-office, outward drama. It has, on balance, always come from the female persuasion. That's not to say I have not seen some bad behaving male coworkers in the past. That has happened. But when it comes to outbursts and vindictiveness and all types of stuff, I tell you what, hell hath no fury, as they say. So, okay, holding it in, huh? Again, it all depends on the individual.
And we've just become numb to the fact that that can cause us a lot of pain.
If you cannot maintain a professional demeanor at work, whether you are male or female, even under times of stress, and most often especially in times of stress, yeah, that may have a negative effect on your reputation, your career, and elsewise. It really doesn't matter about your genitals. I was really hoping you'd get to the more abstract notion of this idea earlier, because I really didn't want to hear more about your toilet adventures, but I guess here we are. San, can we cash in our veto? Your veto, you'd like just to stop? Is that what you mean? To stop this? I don't know. Am I going to put a bounty on stopping the TEDx? I don't know if that's what you meant. San, I'm appreciating clarification, but thank you for the donation. Okay. Tell me more about women's travails in the workplace.
But that's a woman's life.
Yes, I'm sure
right
it is.
There.
Okay.
And unless we have a way to liberate ourselves from this mental shit, we also won't be able to peacefully shit at work either.
Okay, so I'm going to try to extend the metaphor here. Women experience a severe kind of mental constipation, which translates itself over into actual physical constipation over worries of being interpreted as somehow off or repellent or something in the workplace. The head bone's connected to the butt bone.
I call this mental clutter mind shit.
Well, if I hadn't already circled attempt to coin new buzzword or buzz phrase, there you have it.
So before we dive into what women can do to liberate their mind shit.
Okay, see, you took over half, well, nearly half of the talk to get to this. You know, I like I said, before the show started, I was curious, were we talking about something in a literal sense or in a figurative sense? And if she was going to use the literal sense as sort of a jokey segue to the figurative stuff, she could have done that a heck of a lot sooner and a heck of a lot with less awkwardness than waiting 7, almost 8 minutes to get to it. But here we are. And yet the question remains, if this is the problem, what do you suggest be done to resolve it?
Let's look at what mind shit really means.
Okay.
It's the mental shit that clouds our thoughts.
Ooh, like the shadow?
And it slows our progress.
Okay, so what you're talking about is self-consciousness, self-doubt, self-image problems. It's the same things that everybody experiences all the time. If you've got a solution, short of antidepressants or something, I'd love to hear it.
And most importantly, it holds us back from reaching our full potential.
Uh-huh.
It is that nagging voice in our head that says,
you're not good enough.
You suck.
Close enough.
And you're stupid.
Yeah.
And you look like shit.
Yeah. Thanks, lady. How might you cure me of this affliction?
And it can show up in many different shapes or forms. It could be procrastination.
Well, checkbox that one.
It could be self-sabotage.
sometimes more extreme than others. Oh, okay, sure, checkbox that one.
Or the good old negative self-talk
You okay?
that we all know.
Uh-huh.
But here is the good news.
Oh, is it called Pepperjack?
I have developed a way how women can liberate themselves
What about me? I'm not a woman. Am I just excluded from this amazing cure-all? Come on, stop being sexist.
from this shit.
Okay, well, ladies in the chat, get ready. She's about to lay a golden egg all over you.
By moving from mind shit
Uh-huh.
to mind shift.
Oh, please. Would you believe I hit the wrong button? I meant to hit... Either way, that's not a solution. That's just wordplay. Do you have some specifics, please?
A mind shift, that is the very moment where we look at our mind shit differently and we instantly overcome it.
Instantly. Like just add water?
And when a mind shift occurs in your life,
Yes.
you will realize that you have the power to create the shift from shitting all over yourself and tearing yourself down
To taking a bath and washing my hands.
to being your very own biggest cheerleader and bringing yourself up.
So this entire thing was just a very circuitous, scenic route to the most basic Hallmark card self-help platitudes. Well, I'll at least give her points for originality, because I sure as heck was curious where this was going.
And I coined the 3 steps.
Oh, 3 steps! That's a list! Oh boy, circling a list! 3 steps! Tell me the 3 steps to cure myself of self-doubt.
How you can create this shift.
Okay.
The piece of shit method.
Oh, wait, peace? Did she mean to use the word peace as in that? Or for those of you listening at home, it is spelled on the card P-E-A-C-E.
Discover your shit, unpack it, and liberate your shit.
Okay.
And I know what some of the women might be thinking right now.
Oh, if I've already circled mind reading assumes motives, well, now I have. If I didn't already, circling it now. Okay.
This lady is so full of shit. This is not gonna work.
Well, I mean, I'm not a lady, and I'm thinking that.
I will not let that thought become a new piece of mind shit for me because I got enough of that already. Trust
So you're not willing to accept constructive criticism? Okay.
me. And instead, I'm going to show you how you can apply this method to your life.
Okay, I am... Well, I mean, obviously I can't because I'm not a woman, but for the benefit of a good portion of my audience, by all means.
So let's start with step 1.
All right.
The goal here is to discover what objects, people, and situations trigger mind shit in your life.
TEDx.
So we want to create awareness, and that could be really hard when you do this for the first time
Uh-huh.
because you might not know how many mind shit triggers there are in your life.
Oh, I'm more than aware. After years and years of anxiety disorder, I know the usual suspects, as it were. And TEDx might be my Kaiser Soze.
I'm going to make this easier. I will give you an example.
Well, credit where credit is due. I didn't even have to demand one this time.
This is actually a list of some of my current mind shit triggers.
Oh, no. Do I really want to know this? Oh, no, Keeverdam. Oh, no, more like Ted excrement. Oh, I was having a hard enough time coming up with a thumbnail for this one. I should have thought of that. Oh, good one, Keeverdam. Yeah. Thank you, Keeverdam. It's very generous of you, first and foremost, but also a good pun. Of all the puns we've had so far, that's a pretty good one. And holy cats! Derek LaRue. Good evening, Derek LaRue, and thank you so much, Derek. That's, as always, ridiculously generous. Thank you so much for your continued support and generosity. Really appreciate it. I apologize in retrospect for this particular talk because it's pretty bad. I won't devolve into using the word of the day here, but either way, thank you, Derek, very much. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy what's left of this thing.
I have cellulite on my ass.
Thanks for telling us.
And that's an object that triggers my mind shit.
Start doing squats. I don't know.
And whenever I look at myself in the mirror, which I do every day, my mind shit is right there and says to me, "You're so ugly."
Okay, this is. I just want to. I'll state this once, just to cover my bases as a humanitarian. It is often the case in TEDx's, and most of you that have been with me before know this, that sometimes a TEDx is not so much a presentation someone is giving to the world, as much as it is just a stream of consciousness, if not a cry for help, if not just an example of their own mind at work, but played out on a stage. So, just to cover all my bases, if our speaker truly is constantly suffering from self-image issues and self-esteem issues and confidence issues and so on and so forth, and I assume has been doing so for quite some time in her life because nobody comes to all these conclusions and plans without a whole lot of thought based on a whole lot of experience. I hope she is doing well. And I hope whatever might be holding her back within herself gets resolved as soon as possible, because I have some working knowledge of what it's like to live with such troubles. That being said, this talk is ridiculous.
I also have a friend, or better to say, I had a friend who cut ties with me after many, many years. And
oh, do tell us why.
She didn't tell me why.
Oh, tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I can't go poopy. And
that's a person that triggers my mind shit. And
okay.
Every time I think about her, my mind shit's right there to tell me, you're not worthy to be anybody's friend.
Okay, I've had such situations. You need to move on.
I also struggle to keep a good workout routine. That's the situation that triggers my mind shit. And whenever, God forbid, I miss to go to the gym, my mind shit's waiting right there to tell me, you're so lazy.
Okay, well, at least you have somebody, even if it's just yourself, acting as sort of a memento mori behind your shoulder on these things. That's okay. So you double up your workout the next time you go, right?
So now you know what's going on in your life and you have awareness.
No, I know what's going on in your life, which really doesn't help me at all, but then I already know myself better than you do, so... Okay, let's say that I've picked my top 3 problems. Then what?
We can move to step 2. Now it's time to unpack this shit.
So go on from number 1 to number 2. Is that the procedure? Okay.
And the goal with unpacking is the acknowledgement of your mind shit emotions and their reactions.
The acknowledgement. Okay, I have something that bothers me. And then I acknowledge that it bothers me. You know, I think if I could already make a list of the things that bother me, I've already acknowledged that they bother me. So isn't step 1 and step 2 kind of all-encompassing in the first step?
That get triggered. Here we're moving into observation mode. That will actually allow you to put a little bit of distance between you and these emotions. You can acknowledge that the mind shit, that's not you. That's just your mind playing shitty tricks on yourself.
No, it is me. There's not some demon inside of me causing these things. It all derives from me, my psychology, and so on. I don't know if it's healthy to try to separate things out that much.
A great way to do that is weekly mind shit journaling.
Okay, journaling does help some people vent and get a better handle on their thoughts and ideas, make them more concrete and understandable. Okay.
And I tell you, this is not some personal growth, woo-woo bullshit. There's actually many studies that have shown that regular journaling about your feelings and emotions, that's linked to decreased mental distress.
Yes, because when you write something down, you're putting your thoughts in order. And if there's one thing that causes more problems for people that experience things like this, it is disorder. So yes, organization, recitation, catharsis. Yes, these things can be healthy outlets, yes.
From here, we are moving to step 3.
Okay, so step 2 is journaling. Step 1, make a list of the things that bother you. Step 2, journal about them. Okay?
Liberate your shit. Our goal here is action.
Is that like writing down the things I don't like or that bother me on a piece of paper and then symbolically burning them or something?
We are building a plan, but it's not that simple. It's not just any plan.
Plan.
Mind shit needs really firm decision making.
Okay.
So we're planning for 1 out of 3 possible outcomes.
1 out of 3 possible outcomes. Okay, so what are the 3 outcomes for your cellulite?
The first outcome is that you just accept this mind shit in your life.
Okay.
That means you are building a plan that helps you change the way you feel about the mind shit.
Maybe.
So the mind shit remains the same, but you change. Or you control your mind shit. So you're building a plan to change your environment and ultimately your mind shit. But you remain the same.
And the last one is fairly self-explanatory. Hey, you didn't call it ACE. Are you going to call it ACE because it's accept, control, eliminate?
Or then lastly, and that's a tougher one, full elimination of your mind shit. So maybe you quit that job. Maybe you leave your spouse. Or
yeah, okay. Okay, and like I say, none of this, now that we've gotten past all of the opening nonsense, none of what she's talking about now is either A, all that innovative, or B, all that useless. This stuff, in general terms, can be very helpful for people as sort of like some initiating steps to deal with your internal conflicts and turmoils, depending. Usually with the guidance of a therapist or something, but so on that score, and I'm looking for the thinnest of silver linings on this shitstorm, this stuff isn't inherently, bad, I guess.
or your partner. Or maybe you sell that home that you lived in for 30 years that holds so many painful memories.
Sure.
Mind shit changes, you change.
Uh-huh.
And I learned in my life that it's always one of these three decisions that's applicable when you want to liberate your mind shit.
Yeah. Okay. I get that the bait for this kind of thing is the title and your packaging, but it's all very basic.
And the piece of shit, or the POS method, how I like to call it in short, that's a woman's weapon.
Okay, well, let's bring it back here. What does any of this have to do exclusively with women? Nothing that she's mentioned isn't anything that a man could not conceivably benefit from, dealing with similar problems, self-image, relationship issues, and so on. Why is this specifically a women's domain?
When shit hits the fan.
Ugh.
Because here is the truth. This shit never ends.
Well, there is something called death.
For any of us.
Okay.
So we need a reliable way how we can liberate our mind shit quickly as it enters our life, so it doesn't consume our thoughts, it doesn't steal our energy, and most importantly, it does not hold us back from becoming the women that we all aspire to be.
You know, if she didn't make this a sexist thing, it would be a better talk. Not necessarily that much better of a talk, but it definitely detracts from it when she tries to play this as though it's something to do with gendered issues. Anyway.
So, ladies, we're
Ladies, you want to roll in my Mercedes? Hell yeah.
knee-deep in this together.
You didn't say knee-deep in shit, but okay.
We have been told to be quiet.
Okay, I'm circling patriarchy because if we women have been told to be quiet, there's really only one direction that can be coming from. Circling patriarchy on the board.
We have been told to hide.
Oh, be quiet. Hide. Hide your kids, hide your wives.
And we have been told to flush down our shit and get on with our day as if it was a mere inconvenience.
You know, you could really carry this over into just rebranding it as a toxic masculinity thing. You really could.
We need to stop holding on to our shit.
You know, this would be so less humorous if she wasn't sounding Germanic.
It's time to change the expectations that we're all silently enduring and to own our experiences loudly.
So, you're advocating for brain farts?
And
oh wait, I really should have been ready with that one. Okay. A little late on the draw there.
we all owe it to women to normalize that we can and we should make noise.
Please tell me you're going to encourage everybody to fart.
So that the next generation of girls, they don't need to bring their shit shoes to work or engage in shit standoffs or hold on to their mind shit their entire life, where we expect them to lead, to make big decisions, to manage their careers confidently.
Again, what does any of this have to do with gender?
And to raise a family.
Well, now that's just sexist.
It's in our collective vulnerability that women can find liberation.
Oh.
True freedom from any of these expectations. That comes when we all unite and we embark on our mind shift journeys together.
Okay, almost done.
Because shared shit is lighter shit. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. I didn't know what I was in for, and now I do. And as always, knowing is a constant source of disappointment. So, with that, let's move on to the bingo card. Sure, why not? I thought I would, for some reason, I thought I would have a very, very special TEDx on the eve of my 8th anniversary here on YouTube. But hold on, what's going on? JB, thank you so much. I picture Mindshift as just an awful version of Animorphs. Yeah, that's like the dollar store publishing brand. Mindshifts. And it's just somebody standing there, like, concentrating really hard on the picture and just shows, like, 3 advancing images of that same person, but without changing anything. And Keeverdam, I'm so glad you didn't dump this talk. Okay. And seriously, Keeverdam, that is enormously generous of you. Thank you so much. I don't know exactly what to say. This is going to be... I have a feeling between today and tomorrow's shows, I'm going to be doing a pay it forward of some kind or another for everyone's generosity. So thank you so much, Keeverdam. Really appreciate that. Okay. Pardon me. I had to collect myself for a moment. This is the bingo card as I have it. I'm going to go over it one more time by myself. And if you guys have any arguments for squares to be circled, hold on to them like you would your movements, and I will get to you shortly. Diversity, equity, and or inclusion. Not specifically enough that I think I'd want to circle it yet. Word salad. Boy howdy, amongst several other kinds of salad we could be talking about. Anyway, marginalization. Yes, because in so many ways she was talking about the fears of people, and women in particular, I guess, of being put on the margins, being judged, being thought badly of, and so on. So circling that one. Contradicts own point or argument. Well, ultimately her argument had to do with people dealing with their personal problems and self-consciousness and so on. I don't know that she contradicted it so much. The sexist angle really didn't help anything, but I don't know that it Oh, what? Holy cow! I'm clicking everything right. Derek LaRue, again, thank you so much, Derek. Wow, zeros. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, I'm, thank you. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Especially on this show of shows. It feels like there's no deserving here, but thank you, Derek, very much. Yeah, this is, lost my train of thought there for a second. I think I had a, sort of a mental enema there for a moment. Thank you, Derek LaRue. Systemic or institutional? Yes, she talked about how society is to blame. What? Okay, Derek, you're embarrassing me now. But I don't know what to say. I feel guilty. This is far too generous, Derek. Again, thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. What. You would be your generosity would do me and others better. And this sounds, I don't mean to make it sound bad. Either the link at the top of the chat box to the victims of Hurricane Helene or to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. If you donate to either of those places, out of inspiration here or otherwise, please think to do that first. I really do appreciate you. Don't get me wrong. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. I don't take it lightly. Uh-oh. And then work is messaging me? Of course work is messaging me. Of course it would. Sorry. Thank you so much, Derek. Thank you so much. I get a little verklempt verklempt? That's what I'm getting. Okay. Systemic or institutional? Yes, did that one. Let me save that here and refresh that here. Okay. All right. Anecdote that probably never happened. I can believe this lady when she talks about being super sensitive and self-aware of her movements, cellulite, and so on. So I don't think any anecdote she gave us was unbelievable. So thank you, Frosted Glass. Don't spend it all in one place. Yeah. Bills and rent is probably about where it's going. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Appreciate it. Okay, white supremacy. She did not bring up race, so that's a no-go. Leaves out vital context. I mean, yeah, and I know this is kind of a backwards way of looking at it, but really, what does this have to do with just women? Nothing she talked about is exclusive to women. It happens to people. And she even said it a couple of times in the course of the talk, where she addressed the audiences as we all know, or something like that. What of any of this had to do with some difference in the genders? I don't know. Weightless example or non sequitur? Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm going to take out leaves out vital context. I'm going to say that's a non sequitur. I take it back. Yeah, the whole female thing is a non sequitur. That doesn't click. It just doesn't work for me. I guess it could go either way in that instance. I don't know if there's an argument one way or the other. Sales pitch for product or service. Well, I don't know what her profession is and her 3-step process. She didn't talk about a book. So I don't think there's a product in there. And she wasn't advertising a service. So privilege. Well, by implication, men possess the privilege of not having to deal with any of this. So that's the angle I'm taking. And so, as a consequence of that...
Bingo!
What? Bingo! Yeah!
Of course! Of course!
There's our first bingo. Maybe our last, we'll see. Deceptive statistics. The only statistics she brought out were those of the surveys she took amongst women, and I don't think there's anything deceptive about them. If those are the questions that she asked, and that's the answers that she got, I don't know that it proves anything per se, but I'll take arguments elsewise. And lastly, microaggressions or unconscious bias. Well, I guess by sort of extension, there was that they're either self-imposed or a belief that they would be imposed by others because of how they interpreted your bathroom habits, if that makes sense. And as always, guys, if you have arguments that would remove a square from being circled because I went too far in my estimations, I'm happy to take those arguments on as well. All right, so let's go on to your guys' arguments. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, put them in the chat now. I'll take them on as I see them. Advocaz Diablo, deceptive statistics. Not one person on her survey said, I need a poo knife. And how did she not get called to HR for asking women about shitting habits? When I do get that, when do I get asked that one to leave? Yeah, when I do, I get asked to leave. Okay. Well, yeah, no. I mean, I understand the joke. I really do. But I think I'm having some humorous constipation here or something. I don't know. Frosted Glass, economic disparity. Her metaphor of women not standing up for themselves in the workplace. Classic wage gap argument. That... I wish she'd said something a bit more specific. It's a feminist argument. It's a feminist argument. She didn't talk about... If she just said something about, raises or something, then it'd be an easy one. But that's... Yeah, I'd need something a little bit more from her, or a different argument. Janetti Hellis, yeah, this was definitely a weird one. I hope this lady is doing it. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, this seems more like a call for help than it does for a laxative, but mental or otherwise. Let's see. Let's see. JB and JB and Advocast were on the same page as I was with privilege. So yeah, privilege, because apparently it's only a women problem and men don't have this problem, I guess. Roasted Opinions. The shit standoff for an hour where it probably never happened. Her absence would have been missed. I guess it depends on the workplace, but I mean, she didn't really give us that many anecdotes to work with, did she? I'll think about that one. Frosted Glass, self-implication or wretchedness. She talked about all the dumb stuff she's done to avoid bathroom embarrassment. That's a good argument. That's a good argument. Okay, yeah, she's and if nothing else, she was certainly self-critical in many other places in the course of this. So, okay, fair enough. Fair enough on that one. Anecdote that probably never happened. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, well, I guess technically yes, but it wasn't like... It's one of those things where it has to be an anecdote that is just too good to be true, right? Like, you know, I was watching the news and my 5-year-old suddenly started crying at the prospect of a conflict in the Middle East or something. It's like, so... I get what you're trying to do. I don't think there was enough there. She didn't give us enough, shall I say, substantive material to work with. I had to come up with a reason to do that. I just, once in a while, you know. Leaves out vital context. She never told us if her shit stinks. Well, I guess that's technically true. All right. Let's see. Any other? And I know the subject matter does open the door for many a joke, but any serious arguments for squares to be circled from the material within the talk. And I realize most of the material was fecal in nature, but all the same, any other arguments for squares to be circled? Let's see. JB, I got nothing. I'm out of serious answers. Okay. Frosty guys, contradicts own point. Women are only ashamed of their bathroom habits, but she got hundreds to answer a survey about it. Well, it was anonymous, right? It was anonymous. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest, you know. But also the shoes part. Okay, I just want to know. Straw poll in the chat, ladies in the chat. Is that even remotely a thing? And even if it's something that you know someone else has done, do you know of anybody, or have you yourself ever taken a secondary pair of shoes to work in order to disguise your presence in the bathroom? And again, maybe not just you, maybe you've heard it or seen it from somebody else. Also, senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier is in the chat. Hello, Colleen Bernier. Nice to see you. Colleen says nope. Keeverdam says nope. Found says not for me, but work with all men. Okay. Shell D says no. Let's see. Okay. Frosted Glass Training. It leaves out vital context. Being uncomfortable in the bathroom is unique to women. Men have never had to deal with it. Yeah, that's more or less. I mean, well, yeah, that's kind of what I did for the weightless example non sequitur. You know, what the hell with it. To heck with it. You know what? It's my birthday almost, and I'll circle if I want.
Bingo. What?
Of course!
Our second bingo, sure. I think that covers some bases. That covers some extra bases. But anyway, let's see. Keldrake, what did I walk into? Emergency deception shoes? What? Yes, Keldrake, apparently. Actually, because of the lack of believability of that one in particular, I'm going to circle that one. Yeah, anecdote that probably never happened. Yeah, shit shoes. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff right there. That's some super paranoid stuff right there. I don't think so. I don't think so. But let's see. Diversity, equity, inclusion, no. Contracts on point or argument. I mean, ultimately, her argument was if you've got hang-ups in life, you need to deal with them. Right? Everything else, all of the poop talk was just for shock value. So, if that's her point, you need to face up to your fears and accept them or deal with them or whatever. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. White supremacy, no. Sales pitch, no. Economic disparity, yeah, we had one stretch of an argument, but not quite. Benevolent condescension. I mean, maybe. There might be some that are deceptive statistics. I don't know what was deceptive about them. Actually, you know what? The non sequitur is probably that chart, because ultimately she wasn't talking about what people do in the bathroom. This is all just one long, stinky segue into some very basic self-help stuff. So if I needed another excuse for non sequitur, there you go. But anyway, I think I'm going to call it here, because I think I'm done with this one. And hopefully I'll be the wiser for it the next time I come across a TEDx with any kind of similar title. So, a few things before we wrap up tonight, as it were. First and foremost, tomorrow, special stream tomorrow, noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern, here on my channel, will be my 8th YouTube anniversary special. Yes, it's been 8 years, as of tomorrow, will be 8 years since my very first upload onto YouTube. So I call it my anniversary, my YouTube birthday, whatever you want to call it. And so that'll be happening noon tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific. Sorry, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. It's just going to be very laid back. I imagine and I anticipate having a whole bunch of guests pop in and saying hello and talking and reminiscing for a bit, maybe here or there, hopefully. I'm going to be sending out several invitations that have already been quasi-RSVP'd. We're going to do some Mad Libs. Maybe we'll do a TEDx. Maybe we'll do one of the ones that I mentioned earlier. Maybe we'll watch my very first video and critique how bad it is. There a whole bunch of things could happen. It's going to go on for about 3 hours. So no structure, no plan. If you show up late, hey, it's not like you missed anything in particular you can't rewind for. So that'll be happening tomorrow, so hope to see you there for that. And as always, Sunday will be the Sunday stream at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, where I take a look at some goofy stories from earlier in the week. I've already got my list going, so I've got some options there. And beyond that, I don't know what else to say. The Discord server. Would you like to join the Discord server? Well, there's a link to the Discord server in the chat right now. If you'd like to join the Discord server, you just have to click on that link. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word will tell me that you actually watched the stream, are not a bot, and have thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. And today's secret word is toilet paper. Just say hello, toilet paper, and I'll know that you watched the show. Special thanks to everybody who joined me tonight. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone here is so well behaved. You have very little to do. Everybody who donated, I do not have the words to express how appreciative I am of your generosity. Not to delve too much into sentimentality. I've said it before, but I will reiterate it because it's absolutely true. My father, who I think about a lot lately, he instilled in me a particular appreciation for the value of a dollar and what that represents of someone's labor and someone's effort in life. And I do not take it lightly, whatever donations I receive throughout this. because it really does mean a lot, and I'll be doing my best to pay it forward in one way or another in the near future. So thank you guys so much for that. And as well, if you have either donated to me or to the link at the top of the chat box to the Samaritan Purse organization to help out the victims of Hurricane Helene and now Hurricane Milton and so on. Thank you guys so much for your consideration there. And if you haven't, please share that out on social media. And with all that, everyone, since this does also technically mean we're at the 8th anniversary of me doing TEDx's to an extent, because it wasn't that far into my YouTube tenure that I started looking at TEDx talks. For those of you who have been with me for TED Excellence in one form or another, either scripted or live over the years, or just recently joined, thank you for making this my personal little institution on my channel. I still enjoy it every week because you never know what you're going to get with these things. And I make sure it's always a mystery to me until I hit the play button. So I thank you guys for your attendance and for your participation and for your argumentation as we work through these various presentations for education and enlightenment. I call it the shit I do every Thursday. Everybody, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I hope you have a good Friday ahead of you. Hope to see you tomorrow at the anniversary show. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please do get well soon. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.